How's up, everyone? Today, I decided to do a much belated review of Dynasty Warriors Origins DLC after 100%ing the game. So I was going to do it earlier, but there was the embargo, you see. However, everyone ended up doing it anyway, and I feel like a clown. So, but most importantly, I think my mistake was that I saved all the ultimate challenges and training mode challenges and all that crap with unlocking all the battle arts to stream, and as a result, I'm a little behind. Well, whatever. All that did give me an appreciation of the game, but mostly I just wanted to show this dumb thumbnail that I made for this specifically. And if I don't, it'd be such a waste, you know? So, anyway, the main issue I have with this DLC is that it is honestly really expensive for what it is. Like, truth be told, I cleared the story in like 12 hours, and the challenges in like 11, but you know, I could do without them with breaks in between. So, the whole thing was like a 20-hour job, and the decent chunk of it was like watching cutscenes, which is fine because I like the stories. If only they weren't so damn short. 3 stories and so-called strategic battles in between. And I honestly hate those stupid strategic battles. They're not even strategic. They just have characters reuse their lines in a soulless chain of battles. The strategy elements is entirely for your own use. So just use a tactic or two. That's if I remember using them myself. So I'm not getting that achievement because I keep forgetting. Clean up, then leave. Like, nobody even says anything important in these. So you're not going to be missing anything with these filler battles speeding along. So, during the game release, there are achievements, yes, but, you know, since I went through the stories already, I really can't be bothered to go back and redoing it, since they're only available during the stories for each character, and, you know, I, in my infinite wisdom, signed up for the review of Neo 3 and Romance of the Three Kingdoms 8 Remake DLC versions, so I have a lot of work to do. And I'm still playing Romance of the Three Kingdoms 5, so I'm going to be really busy playing these instead of, what, passes for strategic gameplay just for an achievement. That is to say, I don't see what it could be. It was a potential for maybe an Empire's game, or at least a better game mode. But currently, it feels like a tech demo. No, that's not quite right. Just a regular-ass demo for what it could be. Though I'm not entirely sure how they intend to balance this game mode without it being snooze fest or outright annoying if, you know, we're going to evolve it. For now, I'm going to treat it as an unwanted mini-game, a filler for the fact that they only got 3 battles for each character stories, and they frame it as a good thing in their advertisements. Speaking of which, like our mysterious character, ooh, so mysterious, well, it doesn't really matter, like, the story is short, so there's no time to really flesh out his character or any, like, significant events. So by the time this is over, it's like, hey, I'm Wang Zhong. I'm not even sure if it's considered a spoiler because he didn't even really do anything. The Yuan Shao story about Yuan Shao making different decisions in history than our mysterious friend was featured in is, well, I mean, it would have progressed all the same with or without him. It's not like he's your longtime rival turned friend or a mysterious mask character who's been lurking in the shadows. No, he's just some guy. You can hear him. You can hear this hastily made backstory, but you know it doesn't really matter if you heard it or not because he doesn't really matter all that much. So I really don't know why Koei thinks to make such a big deal about how mysterious he is in the advertisement. Well, maybe I don't know. Like maybe the whole thing is like the strategic battle thing, and it's just framed to make the expansion look more than well what it is for $35. Yeah, I mean, look, okay, listen. You could buy a whole ass Empire games with that, you know. Back then, anyway. They charge full price for that now, so it's like $60 for 9 Empires last time I checked. And that game kind of blew. Man, now that was a good waste of $60. Anyway, look, I like the DLC because I like the 4 heroes that are featured. But come on, man. That shit is so short. My expectations going to this was 4 battles, which was low enough as it was. And I mean, you can still tell an abridged story, but you can tell a much better story if you just take all the battles and cutscenes and merge it into one great story with 12 battles and then release more DLCs for the other characters later down the line to make more money. Holy shit, I'm a genius. How did I think of that? How come they didn't? Look, the other half of my time on this DLC were challenges, and they were whatever. The new weapons and weapon skills I could do with or without. and a good number of them were kind of useless anyway. Though I guess the Sublime Slash was really strong. I mean, yeah, there are really powerful ones, but they're mostly on weapons that are already strong in the first place. But that was already amazing, and you end up giving them Sublime Slash. So I could sure use something like a Sublime Slam with a staff instead. Something that can hit like a nice big area. But, well, whatever. So, finally, I noticed, like, on Reddit and, like, on here that people really only have good things to say about this game and this DLC. Look, listen, I'm an adult, I'm slow, I'm tired, and I can appreciate the attempt with the strategic mode. Like, you did a great job. It actually looks kind of fun. So that's how it looks in the advertisement, and I thought that, hey, it might actually be pretty decent. Well, once I actually get around to doing it, it turns out you were cutting corners. Well, that's fine. Cutting corners, whatever, You're just here to show the strategic mode. That's fine as advertisement, but not in live in the actual game as DLC content for $35. Oh, but since the praises are coming, it's okay, no problem. That's great, but I just hope that they give themselves a little more time to actually work on these things. It's ridiculous. It's like every other DLCs these days. Like they cut the corners, and then they present a half-finished job, and then it's content. It's stupid. I don't like the way DLCs are these days. DLCs back then, expansions are like full-ass things. Well, I suppose there's also, our share of bad apples, but for the most part, expansions were great. So I don't know. But then again, I think about it. Those of us who's played Romance of the Three Kingdoms, right? The power-up kit does add I'm talking about like back then, like before 13. Like the expansions add like little features that makes the game like play a little bit better. Like, some more events, more scenarios. But scenarios are like, whatever, dude. It's not like it added that much to it's not like stories, that's for sure. So you can even argue that the $35 DLC we have actually has a lot of content in comparison to what they have in Romance of Three Kingdoms power-up kits. Those were like, just, you can cheat and change your character's stats. You can edit them mid-game. Wow, okay, well, I never used that because I don't care for cheating in a game that that I really enjoy. And, there's also, like, you can have a child, and you can raise them. Oh, you can raise random officers and turn them into random people and turn them into officers. Those are very, like, cute little gimmicks, but they're not worth the $30-something that they were also costed in. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, especially in like Asian countries, was extremely expensive. It was not a cheap DLC, and it was not a cheap game. And the DLCs for it, or I guess they're not DLCs, so power-up kits, which are like literal expansions. Back then, they were physical, so it's just, oh my god, dude, it just was way too much for what it is. And so, in comparison to that, this DLC actually looks like a saint. But that's back then. This is now. And I think that Koei really needs to give themselves more time to work on these things instead of giving me a half-ass product in like places here and there, framing it as a good thing. Look, see, the thing is, the embargo for this game itself is a huge mess. Look, the embargo lists only vaguely what you can and cannot show. Like, it tells us, yeah, we can show the first battle of each story, which is significant. It's a good chunk, 33%. Well, because the way the game is structured, I end up finding Wang Zhong spoiled, and I didn't even do it on purpose because of the training nonsense they had me go through. So that was a mess. And then there was a guy on YouTube who posted the full story before all of us for over a week. As soon as they gave us the copy of the game and the embargo, and well, they didn't get their video taken down. Maybe they'll get blacklisted in the future. But having worked on the inside, the whole embargo itself was not managed very well. No release date. I mean, like, well, obviously we know the actual release date and time, but like, there are people who are posting like, they didn't mention when the embargo actually ends. So we have people who are posting full stories because, oh, this game, it came out in New Zealand, so obviously it's out. Well, we ended up all getting contacted by Koei, and Koei's all like, no, you cannot post this yet because the game is not actually out. If you don't, you'll get blacklisted. I'm like, oh my god, are you kidding me, dude? See, the thing with YouTube is like, I hate YouTube a lot. Honestly, I don't like its setup. The guy who makes the first video gets all the algorithm, and the guy who makes it later is gonna suck. Well, they're gonna suck. Sucks to suck. And here I am making this review like a million years in the future, so yeah, I'm not gonna work out. But I'm gonna, like I said, I'm only doing it for my thumbnail. I made the thumbnail and I find it funny, and all I needed to do was just, talk, talk for like a few minutes, and then add some like random scenes in the background. So whatever, I'll just do that anyway. So the whole embargo in it is like a mess. I don't know if Japan is taking it seriously because the DLC itself is cutting corners. I don't know if they're taking it seriously. I feel like all the praises have gone to their heads, and I only hope that Koei doesn't get too carried away because of it. Rest on the laurels, because in my opinion, this DLC could have been much greater. Like, I don't know, they're treating like their savior of Dynasty Warriors in such a way. Honestly, it may sound sacrilege in some way to you, but I feel like it might be a bit overrated. I don't really like the main character all that much. I don't really care for much for Xian. I want to play Dynasty Warriors. I don't care about this guy all that much. I want to go back to playing Dynasty Warriors, so when Dynasty Warriors 3 Remastered comes out, I'm going to treat it like a new game and enjoy it thoroughly. It probably will play like a new game, because, like, from what I understand, they changed the things to show more soldiers and have to weaken the AI because of said number of soldiers, so who knows what else they changed. I mean, I looked at the moveset, they look kind of similar, but this isn't a review or anything about the 3 Remastered. It's just hopeful thinking, and also hopeful thinking that they improve upon Origins more. Maybe later in the future you get to play as another character altogether. Maybe in the future you could have like a strategic battle that is just a whole ass game DLC. You can play like Empire's game. That would be amazing. Okay, you know what? Dynasty Warriors Origins Empires, I could definitely go for that. Like play as one of those guys, and then like fucking these D1 faction could be like their own thing in some mountain somewhere, and they can do their own Empire stuff, or you can like hire them. Yeah, that's what you could do. You play as like one of these lords, and you can hire him, or find some way to recruit him to help you beat the game. Like you have to complete a set number of objectives to prove to them that you're a bringer of peace, and then when they see that, oh yeah, they're gonna help you. Or you could be like not a bringer of peace, and you face them down like a challenge or something. That would be awesome. But knowing Koei, probably not. So that's all I gotta say. I just want to say these things and show my dumb thumbnail, and then play Romance of Three Kingdoms 5 and get all that crap taken care of before I run out of time. Because 8 Remake officially comes out on the 29th, on my birthday, by the way. And yeah, I haven't even started Neo yet. I don't even know if they're going to send me an early copy of that game yet. It's a mess. Anyway, I thank you all for watching. Until next time.